tonight at Revolution Hall at the community event What Now? And this portion is a wall with sticky notes where people can write their thoughts and feelings after the election. It's called Right Now, W-R-I-T-E. And I was told there were over 1,200 people attending tonight, which is pretty exciting. The main hall where the speakers are was so full, I couldn't get in there, but I was able to watch some of the live feed videos. They also have a place where you can get interviewed and have your thoughts and feelings about the election and the current political climate included in the documentary about this event, and they have a place where you can drink. So there's drink now, speak now, listen now, write now, all different ways that people can plug in. And then there is a variety of community outreach organizations representing here at tables, so people can find out how they can volunteer, donate, and get involved with important community organizations that are doing great work. Future is
every day that you're feeling
I want my jetpack. When I leave here, engage more deeply and participate. Speak, listen, act, fight. Don't tell me.
I know, right? But it's just this rock bottom. It's like, no, it's like, we need to all come together. Like, be in that perfect reality that this is who we are. And it's not that, like, straight campus are that way. Because and like other, like some, like my
There is beauty in
you see this through like the and then oh, I think her music actually like the entire city of New York City has actually created an entire force to combat hate crime because it's so bad that area thoughts like that's real. It's really bad. And it's not liberal propaganda, it's actually you just voted in a crazy person who's a white supremacist into the fucking power.
I stand for
That just happened. That just happened.
So I think this is a beautiful display and opportunity for people to speak their minds and have their voices heard by 1,000 people who might see this wall. And I heard it may also be displayed later at City Hall.
Y en el Kumbala todo es música y pasión. As you know, it talks about freedom, and freedom comes from the inside. I keep repeating these things because it's necessary, you know, for our souls, so we know and don't feel ever, ever, ever inferior. And just face our things, whatever we have to face, and just keep the step. Llegó la hora de zarpar y decidido que hoy se marche el barco, que no de las ocasiones la miseria y el dolor fue parte. Llegó la hora de volar, de abrir las manos y soñar hacia un nuevo episodio. Solo basta imaginar y vendrá. And if you've ever struggled, then this should be the sound of your wings. realize the voices will be inside. Bring your light over this way. Leave your light shining
You're very handsome. You have a face for TV. And people are curious because, you know, we hear a lot of different things and sometimes it's false. So what you're telling me is that kind of the fundamental core belief of your religion, Sikhism, is really related to like the equality of people, right?
Yes, we are all equal. A Sikh would never ask anybody else to become a Sikh. Because when you ask somebody else to become a Sikh, means you already hold yourself somebody not equal. We're all equal. So there is no distinction.
That's cool.
It's the full history of India. India is about 5,000 years old. Sikhism is 500 years old. But it was the first faith that said men and women are equal. That religions are equal. There is no drawing line between being Hindu or being Muslim or being Sikh or being Christian. There is no line. That was the core belief of these rebels. That rebelled against organized religion.
So would you say that you believe in like one God or like a lot of different ones?
That's up to you.
Really?
That's your core belief. You have to connect with somebody or something. That's up to you. Where that somebody or something is, that you have to find. But there's no set stone that is the only thing, the only stone that you can find. You have to ask yourself that question. So seek means to learn. Seek means to be a student, to be a disciple. So you have to find that path inside you. Correct?
Yeah, and like I know there's a little bit of, from what I've understood or read, he came to America and he's one of these yoga guys and he started popularizing Kundalini yoga.
Yogi Bhajan.
Yes,
Yep.
Yogi Bhajan. Then there was like a controversy about whether he connected his form of Kundalini yoga with Sikhism. And some Sikhs said, no, that's not a fair representation. Am I right?
I'm not as knowledgeable or familiar with that whole controversy, honestly. And I don't think Sikhism is that dependent on A or B.
It's bigger than that, kind of.
Sikhism is not a prescribed religion.
So do you think Yogi Bhajan is like pretty much a good guy, or do you just don't?
I have nothing to say bad about
Never
him.
met him?
No, I've not. Yeah. But he had his own set of beliefs, is what I understand. He holds really high goodwill and good intent by a lot of people.
Yes, and I really like him. I don't know him, but I like what he says and what he wrote, and it speaks to my heart.
You can't take one person who brought entire community.
Right. I think that's interesting because myself, if people ask me what my religion is, I would say Unitarian. And to me, what you're describing sounds kind of similar. Like, it doesn't, people can have whatever beliefs they want to believe, we're all equal, and really it all is connected in spirit.
What I'm saying is that beliefs around the world don't have an outer shell. Meaning, if you think we look different than what I look like, we look different. But how do you know that our core beliefs are not the same? And just by being with somebody else who looks similar to you or in the same family doesn't mean that your beliefs match as well.
Right.
I was saying that one of my favorite mantras, which I remembered, is Sarva Dharma Samabha. All teachings have the same essence. So it's like all different ways to look at the same spirit. And then you were saying that like people all around the world may have a similar understanding of spirit in a way. I'm paraphrasing, so this is my words, not yours. But and I believe this too, that we have more in common than we have differences. And when we can see what we have in common, then that's how we make connections with other people.
I can give a very crude example to this.
Yeah.
We all eat different things or the same things around the world. Meaning you eat kidney beans here in the United States and you eat kidney beans in someplace in South Africa or someplace in India.
Yeah.
We all look different, our skins look different.
Yeah.
When we shit the same color.
We all shit brown. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Because there's another expression that's we all bleed red, but I like that. We all shit brown.
It's a crude way to say that the shit is our belief system and the shell is how we look.
Oh, yes.
I was trying to draw an analogy that is very simple.
Yeah.
Crude to talk about, but
Yeah, and then the other one is everybody shit stinks. True, they say that too. Like, my shit don't smell like roses, you know, like.
don't sit next to me.
Let's make this official here. All right, tell me your name.
Virender.
Wait.
Virender.
What?
Virender.
Linder.
Yes.
Linder?
Yes.
Really, that's a nice name. I'm Sprout, and this is Yoga and Dream, talking about Trump, right?
Yeah, and shitting. Yeah.
And Trump and shit. So, what do you think about Trump? Do you have any thoughts about
Me? Well, I think he has ideals and ideas to live up to. Common sense humanity. So I look forward to including the position of making everybody seem intelligent.
like we're all wrong about him?
Yes.
That maybe there's some good.
Yes.
Because my friend, she has some really interesting beliefs, and she's like, there's some prophecy, it's called the Fireman Prophecy, and it's related to some fundamentalist Christian sect, and they think that maybe Donald Trump was foreseen by this fireman that he was going to come to America and fix a lot of things that were wrong with America. And some of the things they're talking about are things like abortion, which they think is wrong. A lot of even people I know that I care about think that Trump is great because he's against abortion. Myself, I would prefer that abortion wasn't necessary, but I feel that it is. And so as soon as we can end things like rape and unwed motherhood and dads who don't stay around to take care of their babies and all these problems that women have, then we shouldn't need abortion anymore, right? But anyway, until then, we kind of need it because we're in a planet with a lot of population issues and a lot of women who aren't ready to be moms. So, I don't know about this fireman prophecy, but I hope you're right about there's some good in him that we haven't seen yet. Because I haven't seen it. I'd like to see it.
What do you think about that? I mean, do you think that a woman should have a right to choose, or
Me?
yeah,
I think the woman needs a right to choose.
yeah? I think it's important. We're having a great time tonight. I don't want to like crap our style, so I'm gonna just turn it off. But thank you so much.
you.
This means a lot to me, really. Now, first of all, what was your name again?
Michael.
Michael. And where are you from?
I was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, although my
Okay.
parents lived in a suburb of Hartford, Connecticut. But at 6 months of age, I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is where I grew up.
Okay.
So I'm Oklahoman.
You know, you might not know this theory, but there's this like connection between states that start with O. So people from Oklahoma, Ohio, and Oregon, they tend to really get along. So how did you find out about Al Franken
Oh, it's Saturday Night Live, of course. When I was younger, Al Franken was on Saturday Night Live, which is a wonderful fellow. Very funny, made me laugh a lot. And then he was in movies. He was in great movies. Like if you enjoy comedy, he was in great movies.
Okay.
It's not an Oscar-winning, but Trading Places, wonderful movie. Al Franken.
Yes. So, and it explored some really important themes, I think. So, do you think there's a connection between politics and specifically acting and also comedy?
Oh, no, I just think that so much of comedy is a reflection of politics. Comedy is a reflection of life, and politics is just a subsection. Right now, there's legal issues that go on, and so there's, which I guess, technically speaking, are a part of life, but there's legal issues that relates to so many different things, such as whether it be equal rights, whether it be health care. There's so many different elements that were just brought up in question that made people feel uncomfortable. And comedy, I think, has a way, or allow them to have, not make them, allow them to have an opportunity to laugh and feel just a moment of levity. Because for some people, like for me, although healthcare is very important for me, I'm a white male, but you could argue, that.
You didn't vote for Trump or anything.
Well, no.
Good.
I'm also honest,
Yeah.
contextually speaking.
Yeah.
So all the different things which I won't go into, that I could argue that I fight for, or I think about, or I want to support, so many affect me from a conscious level, because that whole context of people feeling unequal or living unequal makes me uncomfortable. It's a sexist issue or a racist or a pay scale, regardless.
And if I could interject my opinion here, I would say the environmental impact of a Trump presidency definitely affects us all. Because we all need what? Clean water and clean air just to survive.
If it got bad enough, the last thing we'd worry about is the color of our skin or our religion. If our climate was going to hell, and we were now discussing our ability to have a habitat on our earth.
I'm 44. I have lived in Portland my whole life. But before I was born, we had our own Hurricane Katrina. And it was known as the Vanport Flood. There used to be a town between Vancouver, Washington, and Portland, Oregon. It was called Vanport.
That was before you were born, long before you were
It
born.
was a little before I was born. And when that town flooded, they knew it was going to flood.
Oh, really?
And they did not evacuate the people. And the people who lived there happened to be workers in the shipyards who happened to be mostly people of color.
Oh, really?
So just like Hurricane Katrina, they knew this area was going to flood. They could have evacuated the people, and they didn't. And people died, and people who didn't die lost everything. I have a friend who lived here then at that time. He watched people's houses floating down the Columbia River. Because those people, just like in New Orleans, they could have reinforced those dikes, They could have evacuated those
Well,
people.
now that's money back quarterbacking a little
They
bit.
did not, though. And the reason
Because
why?
people tend to be lackadaisical until after the fact.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
kind of
But
a
also,
general-
some people are considered more expendable than others. And I think that's horrible.
There's a
And
certain
not only
point that's
that,
arguable about that.
this was not taught to me in school when I was a child. This is Oregon history. Neither was I taught about Japanese internment camps here in Oregon when I was a child. And yet we were taught about, in Germany, they had camps for Jewish people and various people that they wanted to put in camps. But they didn't tell me that there were
And what
camps
year were you in high school?
here in
Just so I
Oregon.
know.
Late 80s.
Late 80s, all right. So I was in high school in Oklahoma in like the extremely early 80s, right? And so we were taught about Japanese internment camps, but that's Oklahoma. It's a different place. You weren't
Did
taught
they
about
have
them.
them? Did they have them in Oklahoma?
No, but
Because
that
they
might be the
had
point.
them.
I didn't teach when I was in high school were about the race riots that happened in Tulsa, which are some of the worst race riots in the country. So maybe what you're talking about is certain places don't maybe want to teach the things that went on in their places, and we're talking about back then, but I would like to think that things have shifted a bit.
The ACLU has reported that racist events among school children are skyrocketing since this election. It's only been a couple weeks.
Well,
We need to put a lid on this.
the best thing to do is take a deep breath and understand that there's probably has been there has been some of that, and I've read about it and I understand that, and there has been some about that. There's things that are worse, that are maybe violent, but what we're seeing though are small pieces. I think that as it relates to the whole, I don't think the whole country, like even the 50% that didn't vote, I don't
They're
think.
the ones who caused this.
No, I won't argue that. I won't argue that. I'm still a believer that the awareness that goes on, that what's happened in this time period will actually allow the connection of more people that are feeling things that are opposed to what's going on to come together. So if this happened in the 1940s or the 1950s, you wouldn't have internet or Twitter or these different ways to communicate. Everyone would be like alone, having their experiences in a silo. Now have this way to connect and get together. And so even though we're having this experience and things somehow feel negative, I'm truly a believer that positive is going to come from this. It's going to come from this because there's people like you standing here doing this. There's people like here that showed up. Like it's just, I just think that there's a possibility this could be a good.
So you want to say a couple words about the event tonight?
Yes, I'm really thankful for all the resources that are here for people, and I also want to send a special message to students, especially students of color, that take this opportunity to get aware of your surroundings and also the resources that are out there. I know that being El Salvadorian and being the first generation here in the United States and also to graduate high school, it's difficult. But I think the most important thing that I've ever done is looked out for resources. So get involved. It's hard. It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding. And keep fighting. You can do it. Even though you have to withdraw a class or take it again, don't worry. Keep going and stay motivated.
Yay! And what's your name?
I'm Hazmi.
Hazmi.
Yeah, Hazmi Menjivar. And I'm a student at a community college.
Awesome. I'm Sprout. I went to PCC too, and I totally agree with you. Going to college is so important.
Yeah, especially to be educated and especially to be aware of social justice, to break down the stigma of our old culture and take from the things that we love of our culture and the culture from here. One thing that I love about this American culture is the freedom to talk, to say whatever we can say and not be, oppressed so much. But over in El Salvador, I'll always eat chicken hearts and gizzards and a soup. So I love my culture and I love my language, and I like to embrace both, and that's what makes me unique. And I don't know, I'm the shit.
Right on. Thank
Right.
you so much. Do you want to say anything? Or
What question you gonna ask me?
you can just talk about tonight. You can talk about how you feel about Trump. You can say whatever.
Oh.
Like if you could say something on TV that was a message to whoever happened to tune in, what would you want to say? I mean, whatever you want to
Well,
say.
first off, the first thing that we need to do, especially to high school students, make sure you attend college, because that's with college you're able to go and pursue and discover what fields that you're interested, finding your passion. And the thing is, when you're going into your workplace or whatever, there are those who enjoy their job and those who don't. The reason why they don't enjoy their job is because they're not passionate about it. And when they're passionate about a job, it's no longer a job, it's like a hobby. It's a career that they'll admire for years to come because it's what they want to do. And if I were to say something to Trump, like what I said earlier to another video, it's like, really? You want the United States to know that you're xenophobic, that you racist, that you sexist, and all of that. Why do I gotta like you? At the same time, it's like a politician's job is to make friends, and a leader's job is to just piss everybody off. And I don't really think he's both. So yeah.
Awesome. And what's your name?
My name is Rio On, and I am a student at Portland Community College and a youth ambassador for Outside In.
Oh, awesome. I love Outside In. They helped me so much when I was a teenager on the street.
Oh, actually, I happen to be doing the same thing too. I was homeless for 3 years, and the one thing that kept me moving was being able to attend college. Because when I was on the streets, it's like, okay, no one's gonna take me seriously. I don't have an address, or oh, you're in this job, but they're gonna pay you the lowest amount of rate because you're a high school student graduate. And with knowing that to have that stable housing, to have just even food to eat on the table, and even help me sign for the Oregon Health Plan, I wouldn't be where I am today. And now I'm an employee of Portland Community College, and I am an ambassador for Outside In that works with their board of directors. I also happen to lobby at the Capitol with Apano through their Classroom to Community organization, and then I also happen to be working in a club called Unity Through Diversity, where we make sure that everyone feels empowered by their identity and have students and community members be engaged through community affairs.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Now, if I Google some of these organizations you mentioned, I can come up with some websites that I can share with our viewers?
No problem.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah, and don't forget to go to Outside In's medical clinic too. They have lovely resources, scholarship opportunities, and they can help. You have they have also housing subsidies as well through one of them called Rapid Rehousing, and they actually helped me get to my housing. They were able to even pay my deposit, and then a 9-year program. They paid about 90%, 60%, and then 30% of my rent. So they're even co-sign at least. So I honestly love Outside In.
Yeah, and there's so many people that can benefit from knowing that these programs exist. So thank you so much for sharing that.
No problem. Your viewers are awesome.
Yay.
I wanted to say that for those of you that are coming into Portland from other states, welcome if you're a refugee from other states and coming in. But one thing I want to remind you all is that we have bike laws, and that you need to respect those. You need to use your turning signals, and you cannot go into the bike lane to take that right turn. You have to stay in your lane and go around, and make sure that you're always visible, or always making sure that there's no bikers around, and also pedestrians. We really take that seriously, and especially when you're in the freeway, do not just cut off people. That's not how we do it here in Portland.
So here we are at the Chapel Pub on Northeast Killingsworth, and we're talking with Natalie Sept about her big, very successful event, What Now? So Natalie, what inspired you to create this whole happening? Because it was so amazing. I just want to hear about your concept and how it all came together.
I am Natalie Sept. I just organized the event What Now last week, and hugely successful. Over 1,500 people came. It was really, I'm so proud of the work that the entire organization did. The concept came from after I finished working for the Hillary Clinton campaign. I flew home to Portland, Oregon, where I'm from, and tried to organize an event to capitalize on the energy people were feeling. I was being and sad and confused and try to do something positive. So we had tons of organizations, over 40 organizations showed up, probably more than that actually attended, and gave opportunities for people to sign up and volunteer. And this is the beginning of an idea that I think will take off, and I'm really excited to see where it goes.
So tonight we had another meeting about the event and talked about some ideas for where is that going to go and what's that going to look like and the future. So can you kind of say a few words about tonight's meeting and just kind of sum things up for us and tell us what now?
So the meeting tonight was a debrief from all of the different people that were involved in the project last week for the What Now event. And it was a reflection on what happened and what went well and what we could potentially do in the future. We've had a ton of interest from different people, so I think that there's a real opportunity to try to start some kind of movement or try to do something where people can feel like they're giving back and setting an example nationwide by doing really good work here in Oregon.
So my favorite part about the What Now event was just how charged up and empowered it left people feeling. You could just feel it in the air. There was a charge in the air of people coming together, feeling positive, even though there were a lot of mixed emotions about this election, but about how we can create community and give the people back their power and move forward and make changes. So what was your favorite thing about the event?
I think that's a great point, and I think that was also my favorite part of the event on Monday night. The palpable energy and excitement of everyone involved and the real opportunity that folks felt to finally give back and put their energy into motion. I think being a part of something big like that in my hometown of Portland, Oregon is something that I'm really proud to be a part of.
And any final words about this event, this idea, this movement you're creating? Thank you so much, by the way, because this was really a great idea and you just brought it forth and you did it pretty quickly. You brought the people together and I felt like there's a tremendous sense of surging forward. And so do you have any final words about, what it means to you?
Thank you so much for your interest and support of this project. I think my hope in the future is that more people take this on and do this themselves, that they have events where they try to get people involved and excited and really motivated to do something. I think that there's a lot of threats potentially. It's an uncertain future and it can be scary, but I think that we have a real opportunity in a progressive city like Oregon to give back and get involved. So thank you so much for your interest and thank you for the opportunity to really do something positive in Oregon.
Well, thank you for all your hard work and for taking the time to meet with me tonight.